Osama. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you, Tayyip. Thank you so much for having me today and giving me this chance. Really, it's a very nice event, very nice setup by Ingram, as
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah.
So it's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy to have you here in our
Thank
podcast
you.
with Ingram
Likewise.
Micro at
Likewise.
GITEX. How are you liking GITEX?
Well, GITEX is one of the most, I would say, remarkable exhibitions globally.
Okay.
It's been going on for a long time. We have been with Ingram and GITEX also for some good years. We see great innovations every year. We see new developments.
Yeah.
We see how multiple vendors are trying to showcase their state-of-the-art latest innovations. So it's always a good chance to see something new, which really delightful. It's very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Okay. So here I'm with Osama from Aginode. Could you please give us an introduction about yourself and Aginode for our viewers?
Okay, so my name is Osama Abed. I started with actually Aginode. I started with Nixon's cabling solutions. So let me say that Aginode is basically the rebranding of Nixon's cabling solutions. And Nixon's cabling solutions is not a new company. It started with Alcatel
Oh,
in
okay. Yeah.
1986. So many good years with Alcatel for the structured cabling and telecommunication business. In the year 2000, this business unit moved from Alcatel to Nixon's.
Okay.
And in 2023, the business unit was rebranded under the name of Aginode,
Okay.
based on a direction from Nixon's to maintain their name connected to electricity.
Okay.
Because as you know, there are lots of innovations in the electricity world, from solar panels to electrical cars and so many things. So Nixon's wanted to keep their name associated with electricity,
Okay. Okay.
and it was good for us that now we have a different name, so that instead of having the Nixon's for everything, now when you talk Nixon's, it's electricity, and when you talk Aginode, it's telecommunication infrastructure and data center and so on. So that's the history. So I started with Nixon's cabling solutions January 2013.
Okay.
My position was the regional technical manager. I was in charge of the whole Middle East and East Africa, including South Africa. That's the region covered by our Dubai regional office.
Okay.
In 2019, in addition to the technical management hat, I took another responsibility, which is the business development.
Okay.
So now I'm doing bit of this and that. So business development plus the technical management, and I'm still with them. And I've seen lots of changes and innovations during those good years with the Nixon's, which is now Aginode, and hope for many better years to come also.
Inshallah. Yeah.
So from my side, I have more than 20 years experience in
This industry.
telecom and infrastructure area.
Okay.
I have also multiple experiences in active systems.
Okay.
I worked for Huawei for some time, so I have also the experience of telecom backbone systems like the active,
Okay.
wireless, everything. So I come with the different experiences, which are always helping me to find a better, I would say, solution,
It's
or
complementing
to
actually.
pull out. Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
whatever solution required by the customer, whatever case or scenario we face, it's always for me easy
To identify.
to identify which requirements, and it helps us to achieve better.
Okay. Thank you very much. Very
Thank you.
informative information and the introduction.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I ask, how do you see the evolution of data network shaping the future of telecom net infrastructure?
Well, we can take this from multiple directions, but the best I can tell you is this. Actually, there are now so many industries which started and more industries that we will see in the near future, which depend on the evolution of the telecommunication. Now, for example, looking at the new 5G networks,
Okay.
it is a development in the telecommunication infrastructure where you
Definitely.
now started to have 5G networks for high data transmission and so on. Based on that, it is facilitating so many other industries, including IoT, including AI, maybe. So now, even any new technology or system or whatever developments, the basis is that we do have a very robust telecommunication backbone that we can rely on.
Yeah.
So
Strong
without,
base.
exactly. So
Yeah.
this strong development in the telecom enabled so many industries to evolve. So
Okay.
definitely, it's a fundamental part,
Definitely.
and it will help even develop other industries in the near future. We will see lots of lots of other developments as well.
What do you think Aginode and Ingram Micro can play in advancing telecom data networking technologies?
Well, Ingram is a big name which holds so many brands,
Yeah.
reputable in multiple areas in IT industry and telecommunication. Each of these brands are having their own state-of-the-art innovations.
Definitely.
Yesterday, I saw an interesting presentation for one of your partners, I would say, who was showing an AI software that he simply walks through. It was for wireless.
Okay.
So they just open the camera on their mobile. They walk through the building, and the system detects the walls, and it is drawing the whole building layout or the floor layout or the office layout. So he was just showing the demo as somebody holding the mobile camera on and just walking through the office. And on the other part, the system was drawing the doors, the walls, the corners.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So you just need to walk around the
Walk
office
around,
for
yeah.
5 minutes. You get a complete
Sketch of that.
sketch of the floor, and the system will simply tell you where to place your wireless access points.
Oh, okay.
Wow, very impressive. So this is one of the innovatives of one of the partners under Ingram Micro
Yeah.
umbrella. So Aginode is another brick in this wall. We are telecommunications infrastructure innovator. We have years of developments. We have our patents for some of the systems,
Okay.
including the GG45, for example,
Yeah, for the Cat 7.
for Cat
technology.
7A,
Yeah.
and even for Cat 8 for the data center.
Yeah.
So this collaboration should give the customer, I would say, from Ingram side, a one-stop shop where you can build a very robust, state-of-the-art infrastructure for your IT, and we are part of that. When
Correct.
it comes to the backbone, cabling, data centers, copper fiber, and so on. So, of course, we are proud to be part of this.
Yeah. We are like a solution provider
Exactly,
actually for the customers.
exactly,
Yeah.
and
It's not a-
it's a pleasure for us, and we are proud to be part of this nice organization, Ingram. So that even for our partners, there are so many of them that we even direct them to get the other solutions from you as a part of the complete collaboration. So I think it's a very good collaboration,
Yeah.
and looking forward to having good ones even more
Sure.
together.
Yeah. How are the demand of modern enterprise like remote work, IoT, influencing the development of infrastructure?
Okay, now when we started to have the remote work model, customers started to discover the weaknesses in their infrastructures.
Yeah.
Okay, so as companies started to provide more collaboration, now if you look at the leading software providers, you look at Microsoft, the package of Office with OneDrive and this cloud storage, you look at Google and other providers, you see more and more reliability just if you have a robust infrastructure.
Yeah.
So at some stage, I was hearing directly from my customers that cabling is a very simple part in the infrastructure. Yes, sir, but it lives 25 years
Yeah.
compared to your other components. On the other hand, when you start to see quality issues, or when you start to see that you didn't choose the correct way of how to plan your cables and how to install them, and even how to plan the speeds that will run on those cables, all other components will not be able to function properly.
Correct.
Because yes, we are the backbone. So your servers cannot communicate without the cables.
Correct. Yeah.
How the data is transmitting from your servers or access points back to the switches. The more robust cables you have a larger bandwidth, you have seamless integration with the other systems. But unfortunately, many customers do not identify this until they fall into the trap of having state-of-the-art active systems, but they see slow communications. So, and this is actually part of what we try to educate them. So definitely, having weak infrastructure will definitely give you operational problems, despite how fast or how much you invested in your active infrastructure. So we are the interconnect. So we need to be as better as we can.
Okay, if we come to the challenges, what are the key challenges managing and distributing telecom infrastructure, telecom solutions here?
Okay, so good question. Now, I will not talk about logistics, but telecommunication infrastructure, whether you're working inside the building or outside the building, is the part that requires the longest installation time and implementation period in your project.
Yeah.
From our experience, you start pulling your cables, copper cables, for example, when you build your office. And after many years, when you leave them behind.
Correct, yeah.
Because it's not a simple task that every day you come and you pull
It's not easy.
4 or 7 or 10 new cables. It involves lots of implementation, skilled workers you need to be there. Sometimes you need downtime also.
Definitely, yeah.
So whenever you plan correctly, you build your infrastructure correctly, it will help you in the future. Now, challenges comes from how customers look at this. They look at the amount of work. They look that this part will take lots of implementation. So thank you. Means that you need to make sure that you put it properly from day one so that it can live with you as long as you live. Cabling world, we provide 25 years warranty. And in this span of 25 years, you should change your active equipment at least 4 times.
Definitely.
You will change your servers at least maybe 5 to 6 times.
Correct, yeah.
So we are the part that stays there.
Stays there, yeah.
And in a building, just to make it simple, if I need to make new cables in an operational office, it will disturb the employees. Imagine what will happen if I do that in the street. I will have street closures, lots of traffic, so many problems for the drivers.
Yeah.
So how customers look at it, in my opinion, you should plan it correctly from day one. You should make sure that this is the part that lives longer, so it needs to be as perfect as possible.
Correct.
So that it doesn't give you trouble, I would say, later. This is one of the challenges. Other challenges comes from the way the industry evolves. At one stage, people were relying on 1 gigabits of a transmission using the category 6 cables. Then we started to see a move to Cat 6A.
Multi-gigs.
Then now we have some speeds in between, like from 1 gig to 10 gig. Now we have other innovations like 2.5 gig, 5
Yeah.
gig. So you need to choose correctly. This is something that usually customers don't really pay good attention to. Although choosing the correct technology on copper or fiber correctly from day one will help you save so much on the other systems and how they are incorporating. So we see cases where customers are really educated, and we see cases where we need to educate. But mainly, I would say failing to decide on what you need from day one and how to make it in the best way possible is always becoming with a negative impact on the project, I would say, overall. So these are the main challenges we focus. So it's mainly technology related.
How can the collaboration between Aginode and Ingram Micro drive more efficient distribution models for telecom industry?
Okay, well, thank you for asking that question. Ingram Micro is a big provider for multiple technologies. And in Ingram Micro, there is a very decent and reputable engineering team who can always help customers choose better. So, as I mentioned earlier, we are one brick in the wall.
Yeah.
We are just one part, while there are multiple other nice technologies available with Ingram Micro. And in my opinion, the more engagement or the more cooperation we have from Aginode with the engineering team from Ingram, the pre-sales, like having more education for them, giving them state-of-the-art developments, what's new, what's coming, what to expect. It will always help them to plan better and to help the customer to choose in a better way.
Okay.
So this is a good and efficient model that you as Ingram Micro utilize your capabilities in educating the customers
Okay.
so that the customer can choose better, which definitely can drive more sales for both of us. And on the other hand, it will make sure that the customer will always come back because he got the best technical advice that he wanted to
Definitely.
have. So
Yeah. We have our own team, solution building team.
Yes,
Actually. Yeah, that
yes.
will help definitely.
yes, so I think that's the best approach. And of course, having more projects will even enhance the distribution models. Maybe opening in new areas for new products also.
Okay.
In Aginode, we have a huge portfolio from indoor, like enterprise cabling. We have data center. We have outside the plant, including everything, and we have some harsh environment switches. We have micro switches, which are an alternative solution to structured cabling. So, education of engineering of Ingram, like the team on such technologies, can help them offer the customer more varieties and make sure that we end up in a good implementation also.
You mentioned about outdoor switches and all. What is the purpose of that one? Like,
We in Aginode we provide switches for harsh environment. These switches are layer 2 manageable switches, similar to what you have in your data room.
okay.
However, their design enables them to operate at a very high temperature of 85 degrees centigrade
Okay.
outdoor without cooling or ventilation.
So we don't need to use any enclosure for that.
Nothing. We just
Okay.
choose an IP rated, fully sealed enclosure,
One? Okay.
and we put the switch inside
Okay.
so that this enclosure can prevent water or dust to come inside. And the switch is capable of operating with an surrounding ambient temperature of 85 degrees centigrade.
Okay.
So this is our specialty. Actually, we have seen that the temperature we are providing is also higher than the majority of our competitors. So, and we have a very good proven record of this implementations here in the UAE and in the Middle East also,
Okay.
other than the rest of the world.
Could you please explain in what ways are emergent technologies like AI, IoT, edge computing change the need of data networking and telecom infrastructure?
Well, I would say in many ways. So let me give some examples. A few years ago, customers were always relying on building their data centers as physical data center. Then they go with the next project for building another physical disaster recovery data center.
Yeah.
Nowadays, data centers are mainly like physical. Then you have another version on the cloud.
Yeah.
So the way data centers operate today is totally different on how it was 10 years ago. This involves changes on how we design the cabling for the data center, because you always need different concentrations of high bandwidth at certain areas in the data center. It's no longer the same speed everywhere. So this is one aspect, for example, as an example of the data centers. Looking also on how we distribute the systems inside the data center. We used to have one way of designing. Now we rely on different topologies, whether it's top of rack, end of row, mid of row, or others. Again, it depends on how the customer wants to have its systems and what functions these systems are doing. So data center, for example, of an enterprise is different than a data center of a headquarters of a banking sector, which is again different from airlines. So multiple customers with multiple requirements enables us to have different designs.
Okay.
When we look at the new models of AI and IoT, it's the same. Speed requirements are different. Now we see more and more advancements in the wireless technology. But wireless, end of the day, needs a cable to go back to
Definitely, yeah.
the core. So even though you might have the most robust wireless network indoor, if the communications between your wireless access points back to the main core, where it enables you to reach the servers and other services, even for the AI, if that is not strong enough, you will always see that the wireless signal is high, but the speed is not as much as you wished for.
Okay.
So definitely, as I said earlier, now there are many industries which are there because we were able to provide a very robust telecommunication backbone. And this is another example of it. So definitely.
Thank you very much, Osama.
Most welcome. It was
Do you
my
have any
pleasure
additional
to
thought
be.
to share with our listeners?
Well, I just want to thank you for having me here again. It's always a pleasure to be with you and with Ingram in such a great event as GITEX, and looking forward to many good years to come together, inshallah.
Yeah. Thank you, Osama.
Thank you, sir.
having
Thank you
me-
very much.
having
My
you
pleasure
here.
and appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Have a great
Have a
day too.
wonderful day.
Thank you.